Hola, ¿cómo están? And hello, my beautiful loves. It is Tori. Honestly, I was not planning to make this exact video. I wanted to talk about taking a deep dive into 2023 through the lens of self-love. But I feel like this is the video that I need to make first. So I just really wanted to debunk, share with my soul family, with my boo-boos, my baby loves. If I had to sum 2022 up in a sentence, what would that sentence be? And I honestly want to entice you guys to share with me down in the comment section. If you had to sum 2022 up in one sentence, you can only use one sentence here, okay? What would that look like for you, right? Better yet, a quote. How about that? You can do a sentence or a quote. What would 2022 look like summed up? I'll go first. A blessing in disguise. Like, that would sum up my 2022. That's what it was for me, right? I made this whole video, I think coming into like, I don't know, one of these years where I was like, you know, this is the year of self-love. This is the year of just, you know, embodying all of this deliciousness. And I made this cute little picture of me like running into the water. And, you know, I had Lauryn Hill playing in the background. Like, it was a visual for me. Like, and the fact that I shot that on my iPhone, I'm like, okay, like I did that. And I was running in the water, twirling. And, you know, it was very visual. It was very, however, it was a year of self-love, but it was not the self-love version that I visualized, you know.
I'm confused.
One of the things that I always tell beautiful souls when we work together is that there are levels to self-love, okay? And do not judge where you are on your journey. You know, some levels of self-love are delicious and they feel good and it's sweet, honey, but some levels in self-love, and I feel like this is where it's really not talked about. No one wants to talk about what actually takes place when you're liberating yourself, but more so the benefits, or not even the benefits, but they don't mind showing what they look like being liberated, but they don't want to talk about what it took to liberate themselves. So, you know, there's light and dark in a self-love journey, okay? And I'm telling you, some parts of that journey is messy, baby. Spirit was like, girl, that's coming. That embodiment of bliss and just feeling like, that's coming, but you got a little bit of more work to do. And what was that work, you might ask? It was loving and integrating my shadow. A lot of people believe that our shadow is bad, and it's not. And we're meant to get rid of our shadow, but no, you can never part ways with your shadow. You can suppress it, but you can never part ways. As above, so below. It's all about integrating your shadow and your light to live wholly. To be holy is to be whole. That's all holy means, is a person that is balanced within the self, harmonized within the self, harmonizing out the light and the shadow, as above, so below. Like, both aspects of yourself, the masculine within, the feminine within. It's about wholeness, which is holy. It's not, oh, you're a good person. That has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with holy, believe it or not. Holy is a person that is aware of their self. And to operate in yourself, you have to explore and integrate the dualities within you. Some people solely choose to only operate in their light or only operate in their shadow. I like to call myself a balanced woman because I understand the power and importance of both, and that every part of me is valid. It's not about picking sides or which one is wrong or right, but integrating them. No more dividing yourself. That's what we see out in the world. Men against women, women against men, this and that. It's division because a lot of us are dividing ourselves, picking and separating ourselves instead of integrating and learning how to be in harmony with your light and shadow. And that is the work that I did. It was a blessing in disguise. Like, it was a year of me learning how to live outside of survival mode. And what does that mean? When we are living in survival mode, I always like to give the picture of the zombie apocalypse. In the zombie apocalypse, okay, the zombie movies, they're not, everything that they're doing is out of fight or flight, you know? So I feel like in survival mode, we pick relationships, we pick careers, we pick, lovers sometimes. When you're picking things out of survival mode, fight or flight, you're not really experiencing your authentic self. Like, you're not grabbing onto things that you would grab onto on a normal day. You're doing it from a place of desperation, doing it from a place of fear or feeling unworthy. So for me, 2022 was a blessing in disguise because it was a time out to sit with myself, a time out for rest and to really go within me, to really just self-discovery, to really try things and let go of things that are not who I am, and decisions and paths that I picked in survival mode for one aspect of myself, but I've evolved and I've grown, right? And another valuable lesson that 2022 taught me was the importance of taking time to be alone so you can experience the most important person you will ever meet, you. Just sitting with myself and loving the parts of myself that I have personally abandoned, did I say that right? Out of shame, out of guilt, out of feeling like it's not good enough or it's too quirky, it's too weird. It was a blessing in disguise because I got to really experience me. And I'm about to cry. Oh my God. No, Tori, don't you cry. I got to experience me. I got to realize my worth and value on a different level. And the level that I really learned it was validating it myself. And just seeing how incredible I am and how amazing I am. And I got to experience me. I got to marvel in me and connect with me on a deeper level. Peace within the self grants peace within life. So, a spiritual practice is key in obtaining peace no matter what you are experiencing in life, okay? Your spiritual practice is the nourishment for your mind and your soul. Just how we feed and nourish our bodies, it's important that we nourish our souls to be able to flow with life no matter what is happening. You came to earth to live. You signed up for all of the not so beauty and the beauty. So having a spiritual practice is how you're able to show up and participate in life in a healthy, harmonized, balanced way. And I just list a couple of my favorites, okay? And as you can see from the bottom, I said do not try to do all of these things. This is why when we create spiritual habits, habits that feed our souls, why it doesn't last, because we try to do everything. We try to meditate, say affirmations, journal and reflect, do yoga, do Reiki, get Reiki done, dancing, drums, like we try, go out in nature, like we try to do everything. But majority of the beautiful souls that I work with, clients, and even within myself, you will burn yourself out. Too much of anything is not a good thing. And that is even the good things, okay? Start small, baby steps, My non-negotiable for me, how I feed myself is meditation. Meditation is bae, okay? Meditation is how I center myself. It's how I connect with myself. It's how I get to experience me outside of my fears, outside of my emotions, outside of the highs and lows of life. I used to think that we meditate to melt things away, get rid of things, but really you meditate to connect with yourself and to be able to handle the things that you experience in life. It's quite the opposite. You don't meditate to get rid of things. You meditate so when things happen, you're able to handle them. So meditation is bae for me, but I've listed all of my favorite things, and I'm pretty sure there are so many things that you can do to feed yourself spiritually and nourish yourself. And again, like I said, don't try to do everything. Pick one. Slow and steady wins the race. Get acquainted, create a new habit in one of these things or whatever form or spiritual tool that calls to you. I remember in my journey, I started doing one thing. I got consistent in it for a year, and then the next year I added another one of these things. Like, I literally incorporate all of these things into my life. However, when I first started, I didn't do that. I picked one and I built it up and I took my time, and now it's just habitual for me. It's just habitual for me. It's a non-negotiable being about my spiritual well-being. And when we do that with our mind, when we do that with our body, physically, nourishing ourselves, man, wow. Beautiful things will happen, I'm telling you, when the self is at peace. And watch how much your life changes with just doing one of these. A lot of people ask me, do I need to do everything? I tell them no. The only reason Tori does everything is because spirituality is just who I am. I'm a wild woman. I eat, sleep it. There's not a day that I'm not doing something connected to my spiritual well-being. But you don't have to do all of these things. Just pick one. I'm just obsessed with it, but just pick one. So I'm telling you, all of these are just tools that help you connect with you. Don't look at it as you're meditating. Don't look at it as you're doing breath work, yoga, journaling, affirmations, even tarot. I love tarot. Tarot is a beautiful tool to check in with yourself. What's going on an internal level. It's all about balance, but all of these things are great ways to connect you to the most important person you will ever meet in your entire life, which is you. So I'm always connecting to me. I got to experience I get to experience my nervous system in peace. A peace that surpasses all understanding. I'm not rushing to prove myself to anybody or to show up when I don't really desire to show up. I'm not forcing myself. And through all of that, I have experienced what my nervous system feels like to be free and in its natural state. I never knew that feeling. I thought I knew that feeling, but I didn't know that feeling. And it was a blessing in disguise for me, because this is a time where I came back home to myself, and I'm living for myself. I'm living for myself. wholeheartedly. Not 80%, 70%, just really living and being. Divine timing is a real thing. You're not behind, you're right on time. I made a lot of plans, right? And for some of those plans, it was really guided towards guided intuition. My babies, my loves. Because I do have videos and beautiful things that I want to share with you guys, but divine timing is a real thing. It's what 2022 taught me. And I prefer divine timing instead of my timing, because when it is divine timing, it truly is your timing. Okay? Nothing happens before it's supposed to, and nothing happens before it's supposed to. Like, you're not late. That's what 2022 taught me too. Like, we be around here thinking we late and we done missed the function, but no, like, divine timing is a real thing, baby. It's a real thing, you know? This whole time I was like, kind of like, you know, arguing with myself, like, well, no, maybe I should go through with this. But I kept saying, no, not right now. It's not time. And those things are still going to happen. I'm super excited. If you guys don't know, I absolutely love poetry, and that's something that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. Poetry is my first love, and I'm going to incorporate it into my readings, my guidance, and I can't wait for you guys to experience me on a different level and for me to experience you on a different level, up close and personal. But I needed this time to spend with myself, to get reacquainted with myself, to be selfish with myself, to nurture myself. I took a year to pour into me. Like, I literally sat my ass down for a full year to love on me, to pour into me. I stopped shop, honey. I said, you know what, the plans were made, the plane was going to take off, and I said, no, put that shit down. I need to focus on Latoria, love Latoria, nurture Latoria, pour in, right? And I came back home to myself. And now she's ready. I thought like I was behind, but no, I was right on time. And that's something that I feel like, you know, we realize, like, sometimes before you get into a race, before you run a race, before you head off on a journey, you have to prepare. You have to pour into yourself. You know, you got to take care of you. You know, you got to pack. And I feel like for all of my soul family, like, that's what 2022 was. It was like us packing and nurturing and getting ready to really tango and dance and flow with our dreams and ourselves, and really open up and be receptive to the beauty. For me, 2022 was a blessing in disguise that I didn't know I needed, but I needed. That's why it's a blessing in disguise, because I thought it was a setback. But no, baby. It was a restoration and a remembrance of myself. Before I take off on this journey with you guys, because I know that there's a journey that you're embarking on. I feel it. I know it wholeheartedly. And it is going to be such an honor to support you on your journey and to channel these messages and to share them with you guys. All of the deliciousness. So, if you have made it this far, I want you guys to pop in the comment section the bouquet of flowers, right? Because new things are blooming. And also, I want you to share, if you had to wrap 2022 in one sentence or a quote, what would that sentence or quote be. I am intrigued to read what you guys have to say. So I love you so much, my loves. And as always, I am sending you so much love and spiritual hugs. And I will catch you on the channel. Take care. Mwah.